Hello everybody, what's going on? It's me Minja with a new tutorial for you about the FIVEM server Transport Tycoon. So as you can already see here, you have a lot of servers to choose from, and there's a difference to note before you even hop onto one of these bad boys. So the OS server, which is probably the server you will end up if you just search for this. This one will not run as smooth, and the experience is a bit worse because this server is more experimental. You will encounter lag and bad traffic rendering and all that stuff that doesn't make the game feel better. So if you want the optimal experience, probably choose one of the other servers. And another thing here is it does not matter where you start. Your progress is going to be saved across all of these servers, and you can just choose one freely. Alright, so this is the location you're gonna spawn in once you enter the server, and if you just go straight from the location, this is called the City Hall, you will notice this pop-up that tells you to read guides and rules by pressing F7. And let's just press F7 here because this is an essential part of everything on the server. And you can see over here is the rules page. And if you click on this page, you'll notice that this is not a roleplay server. And there are several other rules you should really read through and follow, because if you do not follow one of these rules, the admins can and will eventually suspend or ban you depending on what rule you break. For example, obviously don't use mod menus and don't cheat. But there's plenty of other rules you should read through before you start. So now that you know what is allowed and what isn't, I want to congratulate you to the status of being a default Danny. You look great, trust me. So in order to change this, we want to search for the clothing store, and in order to do this you can press escape and mark one down on the map. There are a lot of clothing stores around the map, let's just mark this one. In order to reach your destination on this server you have several options. As you can see on the edge here, you can use a bicycle, and you can also spawn a bicycle in at any time by pressing the B key, or holding it down rather, and use the spawn bicycle option. In this radial menu you see some other options that are certainly useful as well. But the bicycle still isn't the fastest mode of transportation, so let's just choose a car. There's something to note from the rules. It's not allowed to steal player-owned vehicles, and just to give you an idea, this is how a player-owned vehicle can look like with a custom license plate. The player can choose the name it shall be. Usually a player license plate starts with a P, so never steal those cars. You can easily check this. This is an NPC car, and here you can see that we have a combination of letters and numbers. This is clearly an NPC car. Once you're done with the character creation, you want to save the character to not lose it. And in order to do this, you can press the M key, which will open a menu on the right side, and this is the menu you're going to use on this server all the time. And there's an option called Player Options, and press the up key once to go to the bottom of the list. And there's going to be the wardrobe. Inside of the wardrobe you can save your current skin if you enter on this. And this menu right here is to give it a name. Let's just say Test. So now we have a skin called Test. This is the exact same skin. Let's say you're inside of this menu and you don't want to save anything. Then you just leave it like it is, leave it empty without spaces, and press Tab, and it will say invalid value and do nothing. From here you're gonna have several options in order to earn your first money, And option number 1 is gonna be the Fountain of Wealth. This is a unique thing on the map. It only exists once, and you can find it as a little heart symbol. If I scroll out, you can see that it is located fairly in the center of the city. And the Fountain of Wealth works like this. Once you move in its center, a menu will pop up and give you the option to either donate several amounts of money or to collect $500 per second. And we're gonna click on the $500 per second. As you can see, my money is going up, and at the bottom of the screen is a bar which is depleting slowly. As you can see, we have 3 people right now who are collecting at the same time, so the number goes down by 3 each second. And the only way this bar can fill up again is when we donate money. In order to do this, you have to reopen the menu, which functions in 2 ways. The first way is pressing M, and you will see directly under Player Options, Reopen Fountain of Wealth. This is called a transformer, and this will let you select another option, and as you can see now, I completely filled it up. The second option to reopen a transformer, and more commonly used, is to run outside of the wrench, get back inside its wrench, and it will reopen. And the other option will only show if you have selected an option and the bar is showing. For example, the bar is not showing right now, which means if I wait, that was the wrong thing. Which means if I press M, I can't reopen anything. If I re-enter and select an option, I can press M and I can reopen it, so the bar at the bottom has to show for this. Another way to earn money is to actually work in a job, and to work in any job you have to go to a job center, at least for most jobs, and as you can see, it is a yellow briefcase or orange briefcase. Just walk right into it and it will give you a selection of all jobs. All the jobs you can see here can also be seen in the F7 front page. And at the same time on this page you are able to select any of the jobs and get a tutorial for it in text format. So let's say you want to be a pilot, you just click on the airline pilot and it will give you a bunch of information, just like I told you right now. But this is the second and the main way of making money, but I'm gonna show you some alternatives as well. So the following method is rather uncommon, but pretty profitable, because not many people do this, particularly. Just pay attention to the minimap on the bottom left corner, and you will see a white circle, and if I get closer to this, you can see it very well right now. This circle is only showing if you are on foot or in a non-flying vehicle. So planes and helicopters will not show these circles, and it will only show on your minimap once you're near it. So this on the map will only show if you're already seeing it on the minimap. And this thing is called Experience Boost. It utilizes the player market to earn the money. You simply walk over it like this and it will say you've renewed your Experience Boost. So the point of this thing is basically that if you press M identity, it will now show in your identity as 2 hours before it expires. If you happen to find a second one within 2 hours, you will get an item, and this item is called EXP Boost, EXP Bonus 15%. This item sells for quite a lot of money on the marketplace. So to explain the marketplace a little bit, You can access it from anywhere, so just press M, Player Options, Access Marketplace. It's the first point. And usually what I do is buy an item if you already know what you're searching for. And we just saw that we searched for EXP. Now you can see a whole lot of listings, and we search for the XP bonus. The cheapest one is on the marketplace for 55 million. That means if we potentially place ours for a bit less than this, it will appear on, at the top of this list, and someone is gonna buy it, probably. So again, this is the player market. That means you rely completely on other players. It's not my favorite method of earning money, but to place your listing, you would go to the marketplace, sell an item, select the XP boost. I want to sell one right now, and I saw that the cheapest listing was 55 million. So I sell mine for 51 million. Now what you're gonna notice is it asks you for a fee. I believe the fee is like 5% or a bit more, could be wrong. So 2 million is what I gotta pay just to put it on the marketplace. That's not good for new players, of course, so you can do this method once you have a little bit of money, or what you can also do is ask in the chat if a player needs one of these. But in general, the marketplace is your best bet to sell such things. So while we're at it, we can stick with the topic money. In the top right corner, you notice that you have cash and a bank account. To access your bank account, you have two options. The first option is find an ATM on the map. As you can see, there are 37-ish, probably less for you, on the map. And you can access these by walking into them and deposit your money. But what is the point of having a bank? So in general, you don't need to deposit your money. There's just one scenario where you need it. And now I'm gonna explain why you want to use this scenario at all. Let's say that you do a manual trade with someone and you want to give him money. You could do it via the M menu, and I believe it's in player options, give money or something like that. Yeah, give money. So if I had a player nearby, I could give him money, but it would take a fee similar to the marketplace. So that means you and he loses basically the money you transfer, like 5%, something like that. In order to avoid a tax for giving money, you can use the bank. What you will do is deposit money. For example, I have around 8k in my bank. Now I can say withdraw gift card. I want 8,001 gift card. As you can see, it transferred these 8k into my inventory as an item. If I click on this item, I am able to trash or to give it to other players. And this is the common practice if you buy stuff mainly for trucking later. You will pay with gift cards because that means you do not lose any money for transferring it. So now I would like to talk about probably the last way of earning money, and it's the slowest but also the most stable way, and it's called businesses. You see me arrive at the cheapest business in a second. It's this one called Wenger Institute. And as you can see to our left, we have the spawn area, and right over here is the business. So businesses are probably a video for themselves, but what I'm gonna say here is that you want to start upgrading businesses as early as possible. So this one costs, well, it doesn't show here. Wait a sec. Okay, it costs 15k, so fairly early you can afford this. especially if you manage to sell an experience boost. Um, Basically, you need business level to upgrade businesses, and this is the point where you have to start. This is level requirement 1, and other businesses will have higher requirements. Let's just scroll through the map. There's another thing that will be different for you, being that there's map discovery for businesses, and that simply means you have to visit the location of each and every business in order to make it show on your map. So let's go to the Pacific Standard Bank. As you can see, this is one of the most expensive ones, and it is level 96. This simply means if you do not meet the requirements to buy it, it will refuse you from buying it, even if you have the funds for this. Alright, so to close the beginner's guide off, there's one very important point to note at the end, and that's directly next to the spawn. I can show it on the map first, is this little icon, which is called the Market Premium or VIP. Don't worry, this has nothing to do with real money. Once you enter this shop, you can enter a real money shop, but we don't have to. So an important thing to buy here is the Tycoon Premium license, and it will cost you either 100 skill level tokens or 50 million. Now let's have a quick look on F7 and go to the main page. From here you can utilize the search bar and type in premium to find it quicker, and it's gonna automatically open the premium page. So premium can be purchased from real money, but it can also be purchased from in-game money, and I can tell you now, it is worth it, and it's not hard to buy this every month. So premium runs out after a 30-day period, and it gives the following bonuses. Very important here to note is that you get a global experience boost. You get access to the premium vehicles, which we will talk about later, and you get a inventory size increase, which is very important for certain jobs I'm gonna talk about in the specific job tutorials. So I hope you enjoyed this guide, and definitely check out the following guides, because this was just an overview of what you can do. I didn't even scratch the surface on jobs and how you do them, but I'm definitely gonna do that in special videos, as well as explaining the businesses, because that is just too much for one video. So see you guys in the next one.